Okay, we got audio? Okay, we'll call this meeting to order. It was properly posted on April 13th. We'll have roll call, beginning with the sheriff.
Sheriff Rick Warren.
Carrie Bloomer.
Miles Davidson for Governor and Cali.
Butch Freeman, Oklahoma County Treasurer, President.
Larry Stein for Oklahoma County Assessor, Larry Stein.
David B. Hooten,
Excellent.
Oklahoma County Clerk, President.
Okay. At this time, so Butch, is it your turn to do the
Sure.
pledge? Okay.
Always.
Yeah.
I've been trying to go down the row.
If you would please join me. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I do want to make one small correction. I think it says I voted no on approving the minutes from the previous meeting, and I'm pretty sure I voted yes. So I just want to make that correction.
It does say no.
Does your motions include that
Motion to
amendment?
approve with amended.
Thank you.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The consent docket, any individual consideration?
Yes. Item 32, I need to strike item 32, otherwise I'll motion to approve the consent docket. Second.
Okay, any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Danny, any opposed, I guess I should ask. Okay, go ahead.
All right, good morning. There's a PowerPoint attached to that agenda item.
I've lost my agenda.
Sorry.
Can someone find
I'm
it?
sorry.
Is that what Butch said?
No, that's what Danny said.
Larry, it's that piece of paper you've got there under your arm.
Sorry.
I'd
Is this
like to
the
give it to
PDF?
everyone in every form possible.
Yeah, which I appreciate.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so the first slide is our
PDF
general fund budget.
No.
I'd just like to highlight what's available in reserve, 2.4 million. Just a reminder that last year we carried over about 8 million out of reserve, so that has an impact on our fund balance for next year, which I'll get into a couple of agenda items later when we talk about the revenue.
But that was particularly high because of the
It was.
COVID money. Correct?
No, not last year. That wasn't due to COVID last year. Last year, we had built up a good-sized reserve from the previous year in the carryover, so. And then we allocated most of that for the budget for this fiscal year.
But how much different is that normally than what we do?
Normally, where we're at right now is typical. Yeah, last year was a
That's
very
what I
high-
was thinking.
High reserve number.
Okay.
Because of the supplemental.
A couple slides over, still looking at general fund. To date, we've collected almost 95% of our revenue. We did send out the notice to all the departments. Since we hit the 90% collection, we're not constrained by the 90% rule. You can go ahead and spend the rest of your budget. Same percentage as of last year, about 95%. Next slide is still general fund. Just comparing where we were at the end of March of last year. To date, we've collected about 3.1% more than we did a year ago. That's exactly where we should be at this time of year because we did budget an increase of about 2.2 million. Most of that is in property tax. We are down in our intergovernmental revenue collections. The bulk of that is because of the juvenile detention. We just recently passed that contract, so we should see those funds start coming in. So we should see that category go up as we start collecting the funds from the state. Next is Employee Benefits Fund. Doing really good in employee benefits. We're projecting an ending cash balance of $3 million. A big part of that is because of the CARES reimbursement we've received to date. So we're right at $1 million. We may have a little bit more by the end of the fiscal year, but obviously that is helping our ending cash balance. Which just means going into next year, we won't have to move as much general fund money if we have a higher balance than we typically do, which looks like we will. Looking at medical and prescription claims through April 19th, we've paid out 1.9 million more. Net out the stop loss reimbursements, refunds, the CARES reimbursements. We've got a net increase of over a year ago, 922,000, about a 6.3% increase. That's all I have, unless you guys have any questions.
Questions of Danny?
Motion to receive?
I do have one quick question. So obviously we have our general fund reserve, and then we have cash, extra cash in employee benefits.
Correct.
That extra cash in employee benefits basically needs to stay in employee benefits, correct?
It does, yeah.
Okay.
I don't carry over. It's a fund that those funds
Right.
do carry over. And we always look at the fund balance of that fund when we're building the general fund budget to see
Okay.
how much we need to transfer over. So we can look at that as we're working through the budget through BET.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Further questions? Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Cody?
No changes to the watch list.
Is there a motion to receive that report?
Second receive.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Cody just really wanted to come up here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Danny already touched on the health plan, really the financial numbers. Just gonna kind of tell you where our plan spend has been this fiscal year compared to last. We know we've been hit by COVID and some big cases this year, but overall, we're doing very well, which is good. Inpatients, really where we've seen the increase, a lot more inpatient claims this year. It's jumped up 45% compared to last fiscal year this time. So inpatient claims are up, outpatients up slightly. Overall, we're up 10%. But just wanted to let you know we're doing well. Expect some more COVID reimbursements. And we had some check registers come in since this report for medical, and those are trending down. So it looks good this year. Hopefully under the 6%.
Motion to receive.
Thank you.
Second?
Any
Mr.
questions?
Wilkerson, are the increase in inpatient claims related to COVID or other medical issues?
It's kind of a mix.
Okay.
We had a premature baby that was in the hospital 3 months.
Oh,
That
wow.
was very large, very large. We had several COVID people, so
Wow.
it's a mix of regular medical stuff and COVID.
Okay.
Okay.
How's the baby doing fine?
Doing great out of the hospital and good after 3 months, so
Okay.
all's good.
All right, it's been motioned and seconded, right?
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, item 37. This is with the CARES Act. Mr. Compton.
I'll take a little more time on this item than the last one. If you recall, Budget Board has approved twice previously moving money from the CARES dollars that were allocated to Oklahoma County to employee benefits to pay for COVID-related medical expenses that our plan has incurred. This is a like item. John has his folks constantly monitoring that and updating it. So this represents monies that have been spent on our plan that are COVID related that have not been previously reimbursed. So this is a reimbursement request. BET is recommending transferring the $338,832.65 from the Special Projects Fund 1400 to employee benefits.
Motion. Second?
Any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 38.
38 is also a recommendation from BET. This is an item that Mr. Monroe in Facilities has undertaken out at the Juvenile Justice Center. Judge Williams needed a modification or a creation, actually, of a jury box that would be sufficient to meet her courtroom's needs. This is $25,000. The recommendation is to utilize unallocated funds that are within the Capital Projects Fund to fund this project.
Motion to approve. Second.
Is there any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right. We have Tiffany Ramirez here with us from Lilyfield. And Mr. Stein, do you
Want to
want
go 39 first? or-
Okay.
We can do that.
I don't have that actually
have
here
number
on my
39.
agenda
Look at your screen.
on the screen.
On the screen.
That was part of the amended budget or amended.
Okay. Mr. Stein, it's
Yes,
your item anyway.
I'd like to introduce you all to Blake Ellis. He's our comptroller, and he has an update. Everyone, the questions that come around the county or around this time of year, gosh, how much money are we gonna have next year? And, of course, to remind everybody that the assessment process creates about 83% of the entire budget, and without that, and without a great treasurer's office to collect all that money, we'd be broke. So Blake Ellis is here to give us an update on what's going on in the marketplace and the collections.
Is this item 42?
Yes,
30.
No, it's 39.
39, and it's on the screen, it's not on our.
But
Yeah.
it's also
paper,
item
sorry.
42, there's duplicates, we'll strike 42 when we get there.
Okay, perfect, okay.
I apologize, sir. I thought that was a Scrivener's error, so it's my
Well,
fault.
I had 42 on the sheet I printed out too. so
Okay,
I'll-
go ahead.
Hi, how are y'all doing today? As you know, we set our values as of January 1. So last year's values, COVID was not really taken into account because it was after. This year, we're starting to see more of a decrease so it's all being taken into account. For the revenue side of things, there's 3 categories. We've got the real estate, personal property, and public service. On the real estate side, it's doing very well in the residential. It's very good. Houses are selling quick. So we've got a good increase there. Commercial side, we're starting to see a lot of appeals. And so we really don't know where we're going from there, especially like hospitality industries as hotels, theaters, everything. We've made some adjustments, but they're still coming in with appeals. And office buildings, because a lot of people aren't working from their buildings.
Excuse me, Larry, when is the timeline, what's the latest you can appeal?
If you receive a notice, you have 30 days from the date on the notice. If you did not receive a notice, it's the first Monday in April.
Okay, and so obviously we've already passed that. Are all of your notices out?
All the notices are out.
So the 30-day clock is running?
It's running. Yes, the first round of residential, that is already completed. Second round should be coming up here in a week or so. I believe it's the 19th or 20th was the end date on that. And with the commercial round is a day or two after that, and then we have a few cleanup from ownership changes and all that just went out a week ago. So they have a little longer, that's a small amount of notices there. So the real estate side's what's really doing well. Residential, commercial, really unsure with all the preliminary numbers so far. Personal property side, we are seeing, since that's directly connected to commercial, it's taken quite a hit so far. We don't know to the extent of what it's gonna be, but we did budget for quite a bit after seeing what the numbers we saw when I ran those a few weeks ago. Public service side, we do not get those numbers until into July, August. And that's when once we have that, that's when we can finalize and have good numbers at the end of August for September when we redo that. Other than that, what I did was we made it from tax roll numbers to the preliminary numbers here. We just did a flat budget with no increase, because not knowing what's gonna happen on public service with airlines and everything like that, and personal property side, we don't know until they render. We're working through the renditions now on the personal property side. I believe we're about halfway through the ones we've got on that, so really unsure, and took a more conservative approach instead of saying there was an increase when we really don't know.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
Larry, do you run analytics on it to try to see where it's going?
Yeah, and if you wanted to have a wag, a guess about what's gonna happen initially right now, it looks like about a $2 million increase, but we can't really tell until we get through this process of appeals, especially with the commercial properties that are out there. So we'll be able to get more definitive as time goes by, but it's more likely a standstill budget from last year to this year.
Yes, we are running those numbers, especially the personal property numbers every day, and there's big swings, so.
Further questions? Is there a motion?
Proceed.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now, Lilyfield, Mr. Stein.
Yes, I had a wonderful time at the Lilyfield Book Fair along with Brian. I know Carrie went over there too. The commissioners went over there and had a great time visiting with folks, and I wanted to make sure that we could help them. It has been a wild anomaly for school kids this year. Many of them aren't in school or they're doing remote learning. And Tiffany Ramirez is here from Empower OKC, the program manager. And what we're trying to attempt is to have, as we head into summertime, we thought it'd be a great idea to have some books donated by all of us that may have some around in our offices or at home that we don't use, so those kids can get a jump start on next year, because this whole year has been a difficult time for kids, and if you can learn how to read and keep reading, you can do anything. And they're going to be able to provide some information for us about how we can help them educate kids and get them back reading.
Ms. Ramirez.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Do you want to Thank you so much. I'm going to try to not take a lot of your time. I know you guys are busy. But it's great to see some familiar faces, so thank you. Thank you for having me. My name is Tiffany Ramirez. I'm Power of KC Program Manager, which is a program of Lilyfield. Lilyfield has done private adoption and foster care in counseling for about 20 years. And 3 years ago, we started our foster care prevention program, coming from how can we prevent the circumstances that lead families to be involved with child welfare system. And we serve 3 zip codes essentially. Hopefully we can expand. But at 73108, 73119, 73109, where kids are coming to foster care in higher rates. So we just had a partnership with Oklahoma City Public Schools and the Department of Human Services to bring services to these children. Essentially, we serve them through mentoring and one-on-one mentoring. We do after-school programming where we have a social and emotional component. We also have life skills classes and parenting classes. So we hope that through these services, taking a holistic approach, we can build stronger families where essentially we can also build stronger communities where children are safe and can thrive. So during the year 2018, we served 17 students in our mentoring program, 6 students in our after-school programming. In 2019, we served 75 students in our mentoring program and 90 students in our after-school program. During the pandemic, we have served around a little bit over 900 students through social emotional kids, activity kids, grocery distribution, and mentoring and life skills classes. So we, with the help of the community and Jose Cruz, we developed a group drive type of thing, and we had a great response from the community, so we moved it into having a free book fair for the community. We serve over 200 students in this book fair, so to follow up that, we were trying to do a reading challenge with the kids from the community. So we're hoping that with your help, we can collect some more books so the children can have their own books to participate in this reading challenge during the summer. We'll have 9 weeks during the summer to do this. And you can see some of the statistics in the second page that you have there. 47% of Hispanic, Latino, 4th graders students are reading below proficiency level. You can see that 61% of low-income families have no books at all in their homes. And these are the communities that we are serving, a highly Hispanic community. During COVID, it was about 26% of Hispanic or Latino community that were affected, excuse me, or had been affected through death, through COVID. So we do see the need of us being in the community, and it looks like the community has been responded very, very positively to our services, and we really appreciate that. But definitely we know that it's not us coming to the community. We know that there are other people that can be involved and will like to be involved, and we would like to welcome that and to ensure the success of our children.
Make a motion, we approve the documents and encourage our employees to donate books used and politely used and otherwise, so we can, kids get a great jump start on next year.
Is there going to be a receiving box in your office? Is
We're
that?
going to be working on that, and we're trying to get
I do
boxes for
have
every
them
one of
in
the
my
offices.
car. I
Great.
just didn't want to bring them in here. But I will leave some boxes for you guys. The kids decorated them. So yes, there will be some boxes where people can drop them off.
Tiffany, thank you so much, and I
Thank you,
appreciate you.
everyone.
We have a motion and a second.
Okay, I will also offer, I'm sure we have some employees that will help you carry those in after this
And
meeting.
thanks to Erin for all of her help on this as well, and Commissioner Amon's office. Appreciate that.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Danny Lambert.
All right, there is a PDF attached if you want to look at that. This is our general fund projections for fiscal year 21-22. The revenue projections, the column highlighted in yellow is what we're estimating for next fiscal year. The very top item listed is the property tax that Blake just went over with us, 75.3 million. It's about 483,000 or 0.6% less than our current budget. As Blake mentioned, being a little conservative this time of year, those numbers will change when we go through the supplemental process and those numbers are certified. So as of right now, it's a little bit lower than what we're currently working off of. And then the rest of the items listed are various items. Most of them we project at 90% of what we estimate for this fiscal year. Some are 100% if they're contracted items. So all total, we are estimating revenue of $94,146,194. It's almost a $400,000 increase than our current revenue, 0.4%. The very next line item that factors into our budget for next year is the fund balance. I've highlighted that in blue. It's $11.6 million. That's the amount that's quite a bit down from our where we're at this year, $7.3 million decrease. So you add the revenue, the projected fund balance. Again, the fund balance is conservative. We are always very conservative this time of year. I projected a 2% lapse from all our general fund budgets. And then, of course, I mentioned earlier the reserve. We have $2.4 million in reserve. That factors into that as well. One number that isn't included in this projection is the treasurer's resale. I think last year it was $1.4 million. That we get that in June. That will be added come September. So that also that always factors into our September supplement as well. So it's not in this number here. So the bottom line, highlighted in yellow, $105,804,967. That's what we have to build our budget on for next year. That is a decrease of $6.9 million over our current budget level, about a 6.1% decrease.
Questions of Danny?
May I add one comment on the fund balance? Each of us, we control 100% of that fund balance. As always, just because you have the dollars does not necessarily mean that you have to spend them. Because remember, a dollar saved this year becomes a dollar available next year. So, and that's not to say at all, you know, there's going to be some stuff that has to be done at the last out of your money that's going to reduce the fund balance. Otherwise, not saying that doesn't happen and not saying that shouldn't happen, but the fund balance we do control. A dollar saved is a dollar earned.
Tommy, this is your first meeting when Butch Freeman has given you the seed corn speech. You have to save your seed corn. If you make tortilla chips out of your seed corn,
You're
it's
done.
gone. It's gone. It tastes great with the salsa, but you don't have any corn next year, so.
I appreciate it, sir.
Further questions of Danny?
Motion to receive. That is my favorite speech. I look forward to it.
Gets better every year.
I've heard it 5 times.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And then we have a motion to strike 42.
Motion to strike?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion to strike 43. Is that a redundant too?
No.
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 What did we work out? Okay. So we need to, there was a question about making an amendment on this, but we are gonna just leave it the same. You wanna explain?
Sure. Hello again. This amendment amends the health plan for dialysis coverage. Currently, when a member receives dialysis on the health plan, they pay their $500 yearly deductible, their 20%. The county pays the rest. In a calendar year, the most someone could be out of pocket is $3,000 from Medicare. And what this does is gets lower pricing on dialysis and less out of pocket for the members. So this revises our coverage. First 4 months of dialysis treatment, we're gonna pay at 100% after discounts. That allows the member to get enrolled in Medicare. When you start dialysis, that's a Medicare event. The member, regardless of age, can start Medicare. So a medical team will be now applied to the member to help them get enrolled in Medicare. And the 12-month premium for Medicare is $1,782. And what that does is that really replaces their current out-of-pocket of $3,000. Because when they have Medicare as a secondary, the county's gonna pay, Medicare is gonna pick up the balance. So this saves a member $1,218 a year, every year on their out-of-pocket costs. Plus they have Medicare picking up that balance. On the county side, what it saves us is, we're gonna change what we're gonna pay to 125% of Medicare. Currently, we do PPO rates, which are good rates, but it's hard to get a discount with these providers, and like good discounts. So this cap takes it to 125% of Medicare rates. And that will save the county, currently on every case, we have 2 people going through dialysis now. We pay $159,000 a year for dialysis per patient. With these new Medicare rates, if we adopt these, we'll pay about $57,000. So they'll save the county $102,000 per case per year, and it also saves the member out of pocket $1,200 per year, since Medicare is gonna pick this up. So it's a win-win for everyone. It just allows us to get better rates on our dialysis treatments. And it also assigns a medical team from HealthSmart to the member. So they're assigned a nurse case manager, they're assigned a registered pharmacist, they're assigned a person that helps them through the Medicare process. So they have this whole team now that's helping them through the dialysis process as well. And I'm just asking you to approve this. Now, there has to be a 60-day notice given to all health plan participants when we change benefits. So this is going to be effective if you approve it 7/1. Of course, we'll have to go to the BOCC next for approval, but we want to make this effective 7/1. So there's some urgency in getting this approved, because we have to give that 60-day notice to members.
Motion to approve. I have a quick question. Aaron, are we good with this? Okay. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Cassie, I do wanna let you know that I've been kicked out, so I'm just gonna vote old school. So.
Okay, Dana Rich?
Good morning.
Morning.
This is moving the $200,000 we moved last month.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jamie?
Good morning.
Morning.
This item is to transfer, it's in the detention budget from operations to capital to replace a key watcher system cabinet for our key control and detention.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next item?
This is also in the detention budget, a transfer from operations to capital, 4680, and it is to purchase a replacement computer for our door lock, sliding, and intercom controls.
Motion to approve.
All, any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And my last item is a transfer of operations to capital, again in detention, 8,717. We need to purchase a new oven for the kitchen.
Wonderful.
What kind of oven are you purchasing? Do you know yet?
Brand,
Yeah, is it a wood?
we know, but I don't know.
That's the right answer.
Thank you.
Motion to approve.
Can you make salsa on it?
With a little bit of
All
seasoning.
right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, any citizens wishing to speak before the budget board?
That's right.
Anybody addressing us online? Okay, board comments, starting with the sheriff.
No comment. Just love Butch's speech. I miss it every time I'm here, so thank you so much.
I'm looking forward to the day when you start implementing it though, not just listening.
Not talking to me, no.
I do want to thank the BOCC for approving a resolution for, and of course now I'm blanking on her name. There was a woman who served on the Metro, Millwood, Percival, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
She served
Frances
on the
Percival.
Millwood Schools School Board for 50 years. And she retired last Monday. And I got to go and present our resolution to her. Councilwoman Nice was there. A representative from Joy Hoffmeister's office was there. And then all the past principals who had worked in Millwood schools during her tenure came and spoke.
Wow.
And the high school band was there. It was a really cool ceremony. And she didn't, I think she's 90. She did not look 90.
92.
I think she was, yeah, she did not look 92. And when I went up to introduce myself and take a picture, she asked who I was, and I told her I was a county commissioner. And she goes, well, hun, you just let me know anytime you need help with anything. And I wanted to say, but it's your retirement. You shouldn't be offering to help. So she was very sweet, and you could tell that Millwood was so appreciative of her service, and it was very cool to get to watch. I think she is the longest serving school board member in state history,
Yeah.
so.
She's a very nice lady.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to Erin, who had her birthday yesterday.
Ooh.
No, thank you.
Just to kind of follow up on, when I first came into office, we were the county treasurer by statute has to serve as a treasurer for the schools if they asked them to. And so this office, county treasurer for years and years, was the treasurer for Millwood. And we worked with Frances Percival, and she is, I'd have to echo that.
Which
That is a
were
sharp
we
lady.
the state then?
Had you planted the seed corn, we would.
Larry?
I want to thank the commissioners for updating the parking garage. It looks very nice, and you can actually see numbers on where you're supposed to park, and now Butch knows where to park, which is good. I want to thank Commissioner Wan and Aaron Moore for their help on the Lily Field. And then also to remind you that tonight in Bethany, 6700 Northwest 35th, the folks over in Bethany are asking us if we'd like to attend their budget meeting to say hi to everyone. They might have questions. I believe the sheriff and I are planning on being there. And also Senate Bill 403 passed, which will help us maintain order in our meetings, and I'm excited about that as well. So the new mayor in Bethany is Nikki Lloyd. She's really terrific. I had a meeting with her. I believe Commissioner Waz had a meeting with her, and very nice folks over there and part of the constituency of the county.
One of our youngest mayors in the state, I believe. I'm not gonna tell her age. That's a trick. I know it.
Good answer.
Okay, any new business? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
You turn to say.
Like,
No, I think.
You almost
I
jumped
think
in the